he's supposed to do on that date.
Well, I don't want to, like spoil anybody's party, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. I think that it's the end of maybe a 5,000-year cycle, and after a cycle, a new era begins. And I think it's a good thing, and throughout the Yucatan Peninsula, there's so much construction. They're building, and they wouldn't be building if anybody anticipated the end. So,
and that's right. And I think in that way, it kind of does connect to what was going on in ancient times. I mean, in ancient times, ritual and economy and economics were kind of connected, right? You couldn't have one without the other. You couldn't put on a gigantic festival without getting people to do the work to produce the products that you would need to consume during that festival, for example. So it's kind of the same thing all over again.
And back to Chichén Itzá, the pyramid of Chichén Itzá has 4 corners, and each stairway, surrounded by the balustrade where the serpent shadow appears, has 91 steps.
Right.
And 4 times 91 is 364.
Right.
Then there's a platform at the top, which equals 365. Right. So it's like, how brilliant that they actually figured out a calendar that we still use, and it appears to be the most accurate source of time.
Well, I mean, yes and no. What the orientation does, so the fact that they have this pyramid and it's skewed in such a way that the light illuminates the serpent coming down the balustrade just on the equinox every year, that's what's allowing them to see that there's some slippage between the perfect 365 days and the actual thing that we know is the tropical year, which is why we do leap year.
Right.
So 365.2422.
They get an extra 4 hours for the 4
So if they were
6
to
hours.
try and keep track of it with just the 365 days of the steps and the platform on top, then they would know that, you know what, it doesn't match what we're seeing with the descent of the serpent. So they would know that they were different. But the thing is, we also know from Mayan astronomy that they recognized this long before they built Chichén Itzá's temple. So I think we have to kind of take apart those two things. On the one hand, there's the recognition of the scientific observation of a solar year. On the other, there's the ritual commemoration of a cycle, and it doesn't matter if that's exactly on the tropical year or not.
So we have this drawing here, and this is a Mayan calendar, not to be confused with the Aztec calendar, which is here.
Right.
So how does the Mayan calendar work? There's like 20 months consisting of, I forgot how many days.
So we have 2 different cycles that are shown here. You have
can we zoom in on this?
you have around the outside in this circle right here, you have 20 day signs. This is the basis of the 260-day count. These 20 day signs are combined with these 13 numbers, and then if you just go advance 1 day, each day changes a number and a day sign. The same date is only going to repeat after 260 days, 13 times 20. So that's how this becomes a 260-day count. And if you wanted to use this image, what you could do is you could lay it flat, and you could put like a little stone on top of the 1 and a little stone on top of the day Imish, and you could say, okay, that's my date today, 1 Imish. The next day you would move your stone to 2, and you would move this stone to Ik, and you would say the day after 1 Imish is 2 Ik, and the day after 2 Ik is going to be 3 Akbal, and then 4 Kan, 5 Chichan, and you would go all the way around 260 times till you got back to 1 Imish. And that's the 260-day count. Fundamental part of calendrics in all of Mesoamerica. The other side of this is the 365-day count, which is canonized in that structure at Chichén Itzá. And these are 18 months of 20 days each. So that gives you 360 days. And then 1 month of just 5 days. That's in Aztec they call them the nameless days. And when you're not supposed to do anything, you're supposed to extinguish all your fires and just kind of chill out.
Like Sunday, like the day of rest,
like
or
Sunday.
Saturday,
you get 5 every year instead of 1 a week. And so what you would do here is you would have, you would start with, instead of saying the 0 of a month, they would say the seeding of a month. So a month is seeded, kind of like a ruler is seeded into power. So you would say the seeding of the month Bop, and then you would go through 20 days of that month Bop before you would go on to the seeding of the next month. And then you go through all 365 days of the year. And those two things run together so that one full date could be a combination of a 260-day count and a 365-day count, like 5 Lamat, 1 Mol. That would be what this thing would help you represent.
And Mayan time is supposed to be as accurate, second only to the atomic clock in Greenwich, UK,
So
off
again,
by 10000. I don't know how many zeros in a one.
yeah, and not so much on that either. That's another kind of an inference based on one of these cycles. The way that system that I just explained gives you the basic calendar. Then they used the long count, which just kept track of days over time. And so it's just like the odometer in your car. You go a mile and it marks off a mile. The long count, you go a day, it counts off a day. And it just counts those up in really large periods of time. So yes, it's true. You can make really accurate calculations with them, but there's nothing about the count itself that's more accurate than a day.
How did they do this?
This is the history of math, the history of science, the history of observation, and the integration of people with their environment, trying to make order. And they did it just like everybody else did. The Chinese came up with their systems for math and calendrics, a little bit different from what was going on in Mesopotamia, different from what was going on in Egypt and in Greece. Everybody had their own way. Unfortunately, now we are only really familiar with one system, but there's a heck of a lot of ways that you can keep track of time.
Once more, time. We're out of it. Where do we get some more?
Time. Right.
Anyway, thank you so much. My guest has been Gerardo Aldana. I'm Donna Lynn, and you've been watching Travel Angel, Everything Mayan. Please go to Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula and see for yourself. It's fabulous. I know you're going to have a good time, and we'll see you next time on Travel Angel. Bye. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
It was a lot of fun. Seems like it's really quick.
Yes.
Time goes by fast.
So is the Mayan clock? I mean, it's not even true.
No. What happens is, so I have an article on the internet that I wrote specifically about this, and it's that people find patterns. You find patterns in randomness, right? So you look at a cloud, and you'll see a duck in there, or you'll see a bear in there.
Perception.
It's not because there's really a duck in there,
Right.
but your mind sees it.
Right.
Today, with the internet, we have so much information out there, people are going to find patterns, even though they're meaningless.
So we need to do one more show, not tonight. We need to do one more show that's like, okay, urban legend, urban myth, urban myth. There is no this, there is no this. Mythbusters, yes.